Hello, how's it going today? It's Frankie here, and I'm back with another movie review. Now, before I get onto the movie I'm going to be talking about, I just want to address a comment that I think it was on a hashtag float video movie review that I did, and I don't know why I didn't see it at first. I just didn't really notice. I don't know why. I thought it was like a regular video title in my recommendations or something like that. But it said, "Oh, you said that the movie wasn't that good, but could have been better." Now I want to address that for a second. I've mentioned there's so many other videos, movie review videos, and TV show review videos that so many times about this that a movie could have good quality, but it can have really bad acting. So it means it just needs a bit more of that, and the rating could be higher. Or a movie could have bad acting, but good qualities and the camera footage and everything is great, but could be could be disappointing. It could make the movie look a bit sloppy and poor. Or a movie could have like good storyline but bad dialogue. This is what I'm talking about. I said so many of my reviews before. I've been saying like terrible movies. It's like Territory. If the acting was better in that, and the effects of like these enemies and stuff was better, it would have been the rating would have been skyrocketing. So that's it. I kind of answered this comment in so many videos without me having to reply back to a person. I know I should have. I apologize. I just didn't notice it at first, so apologies for that. But that comment is cleared up. I will reply back to the comment and say it's on this movie review video. I'll just clarify that. And yeah, anyways, so on to the movie then. This movie, I got recommended to watch this in the comments video. I can't remember what movie it was on that they commented on, but it's um it's a movie which made me a bit embarrassed. I knew how it was going to be after reading it. It's called Slay, and it's about these four drag queens that go into this like in this bar that one of them booked, which they were meant to book somewhere else, but it came up as this, and they went in there, and obviously people that don't take kindly to things like that. And as I was watching, I was like, oh my god, it's embarrassing drag queens. Where's RuPaul at when you need him in this type of movie? He would have been perfect for it. And I'm not going to mention the whole of this movie. There's not really much to talk about, other than a vampire comes in. Bear in mind, this vampire was already bitten prior to that. As vampires starts biting other people, and then they start turning into vampires. I didn't know that vampires turn into other vampires after they got bit. I thought it doesn't relate to zombies, so they probably applied the same element to that. And every time they got stabbed in the heart, they start to turn into dust. So I think it's kind of like typical as you would expect anyway. And there's some odd scenes in it though. It's quite funny. There's scenes where like this one of the drag queens has to put bread in this like vampire's mouth, but it had a bad effect on the vampire because the vampire, because I had garlic on the bread, the vampires don't get garlic. There's another scene where where one drag queen was, I thought she was killed or something, but she turned out to be, you know, she turned out to turn into one of the vampires, but she's a friendly vampire. Then two other ones were bit, but they turned into friendly vampires too for some strange reason. And then they'll just talk about, oh, these drag queens are talking like, oh, I tell you what, something about a souffle or something like that when they come. I don't know what it was about. It was really quite weird. At first, I was just a bit like, speeches. I didn't have any. I was embarrassed. I don't know why. It was a bit embarrassing me. I just couldn't look. I was actually turned away from most of the movie like this, not looking at the screen at all. I don't usually do that. I think the reason why I didn't say much about the movie when I was watching is because it was the vampires made it more exciting. I'm not into vampire type movies, right? But at least they made it a bit more watchable. It gave some zest to it at least because it would just felt quite stupid and like pathetic and like daft. I think the reason this was recommended to me is because this is a horror comedy. The comment better still be there as well, but I have to make this video. I had to talk about it, and then someone made, and then especially when they're dancing on stage before this happens, and the biker gangs out, which I hate it as well. It's just, and they tried to lock one of the vampires in. Obviously, they escaped eventually, and they just started to be saying some silly dialogue and lines. It's like, what is going on? That was, I've seen worse in movies, by the way, and this doesn't need good acting because if you think about it, they act it's like normal type. The biker gang is that type of biker gang would usually act, and the drag queen would usually act how they would usually act. And I'm not being stereotypical. That's how they usually are anyway. And then yeah, and then they started like, turn this barman into like what a drag queen because he used to do it at one point as well. And then you had this guy that I thought this guy had a girlfriend. It was at the start of the movie. You know who I'm talking about. This guy has some sort of like he's in a relationship and then he stares at this drag queen. So he's probably bisexual, probably secretly gay. I don't know how it works. This is and then I think one of the characters called Mama. Then one of the characters called Olivia, and then I forgot who the other two are called now. So itchy nose. I don't want Mitchell nose time. And yeah, I think I'm getting sick by the way. A bit of a sneeze, a bit of like sniffing a lot too. I think I'm starting to get sick. Hope not. Got to keep these videos like me having a clear voice, me being less sick. But yeah, they say this movie though, like you gotta watch it for yourself. There's not really much to talk about. There's a scene in the kitchen as well, which I mentioned. A scene in the vents, which is quite silly as well. It's just it's like and then when they started, then the innuendos being used in the movie. It's like what is going on here? Watch the movie for yourself and see how it is. Like I don't wanna, like I keep saying in my other videos. I should have said it before I talked about the movie in this one. Watch my videos. No, watch the movie first, then watch my videos. Then you get a clear idea of it. Or what you can do is watch my review, and then you can watch the movie so you can give me a rough idea on what you think. And rate it for yourself actually. So you think if I had to rate this, I gotta say the vampires were good. The vampires had good quality for like a movie that you think is a horror comedy. So you think that's gonna be a bit stupid looking. Vampires, the eyes turned red. The way they were effective, it wasn't actually too bad for a movie that's actually quite stupid looking actually. I've got to say, it's I don't know. I was gonna give this a one, but then I think it's not that. Literally, there's a good element in there, which is the vampire part, which I thought was a good element. So I would have given it a two, but then the vampires actually made it more. I don't know. They kind of made it a bit. They kind of gave it a bit more energy to it because it's quite stupid and daft. So they made it a bit more effective in the movie. They needed more humor. That the humor should have been better on point. I don't know. I'm not a druggie, so I wouldn't know actually. I mean, it's a 3 out of 10. It's definitely below average. It's not funny. The character is quite a daft type of movie. It's quite silly as well, a different kind. I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't enjoying it. I looked away most of the time, wanted it to be over. Nearly 2 hours, but it's an hour and over. It was nearly an hour and 40 minutes, I think. So I had to enjoy that. I wanted all that back actually, but I watched it because the comments suggested to me. Yeah, there's not much to say. I will get onto the Dune movies as well, just to let that person know. So yeah, 3 out of 10 the rating is. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like, comment, share everyone you know, subscribe and hit the notification below. As I see you in my next video.